The Obama campaign obviously demonstrated just the power of community marketing and all the different techniques that you used. What are corporations now doing this? What are your other clients?
Yeah, I mean, some interesting applications are largely around fundraising for, say, public broadcasting. How do you enable people to not just participate in the on-air sort of pledge-a-thon, but actually have an ongoing communication with them via email and other forms of online communication? In the corporate sector, how do you mobilize employees around your CSR efforts? How do you make your corporate responsibility more deeply integrated into your day-to-day?
And what's the answer?
I think some of it comes to just transparent messaging. I mean, really action-oriented, getting them to do things. When you ask people to do things, they do them, and they expect to be treated differently. So the way the Obama campaign worked on the grand scheme, that high level of 14 million people, is lots of segments of knowing what people want to do on your behalf, what they've done for you, sort of managing the data such that the relationships are both more real-time and more reliable.
One of the successes of the Obama campaign was mobilizing all these different tiers of people who became advocates, and they got all their friends, and they campaigned. Obviously, it gets a lot trickier when you go to a corporation. And would the strategy be the same? Are you getting Ford owners to evangelize the cars? How do you incent them to do that?
I mean, I think you really can. I think the level of passion is obviously going to be different. There has to be more of a giveaway, more of an incentive. But through on-the-ground events at dealerships, for example, along with loyalty programs and service guarantees and everything, you can bundle things together in the way we did. Ultimately, the campaign wasn't just about Barack Obama. It ended up, of the videos, the content, the messaging, it became as much about the individual supporters on the ground as it was. So how do you invert that model in the corporate world so it's not just marketing from the ivory tower of the corporate headquarters, but about that sort of fostering that brand loyalty from a broad base of people?
Is anyone doing that well in the corporate world?
I think there's some interesting campaigns happening, but it's not terribly organic. I mean, a lot of the campaigns that we see, even on air, that have loyal customers interviewed, they're casted things. There's casting calls and makeup rooms and everything else, which you need to do for commercials. How does the online world then have a more authentic, more accessible approach? We talk a lot about sort of lowering the barrier to entry while raising the level of expectations. So how do you allow a consumer to play a role in your marketing campaign and keep that relationship going? I think it's about authenticity and trust in the message. But when you get into the more corporate for-profit world, there's got to be that incentive, whether that's in pricing, whether that's in some sort of loyalty program that has benefits in a traditional way.